Hey guys, Mike here, and in this video I'm going to tell you 10 reasons why you should get the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. Or in other words, talk about what I consider to be the best 10 features of this smartphone. Let's get going. I won't have these features in any particular order, so I'm just going to start with the speed. This thing is utterly fast and just flies in games, benchmarks, daily use and no matter what else you might throw at it. In fact, it's a lot snappier than the Galaxy S4 and for sure one of the snappiest phones I've ever got to play with. It runs Android 4.3 with TouchWiz, but there's very little to none of that characteristic TouchWiz lag. The hardware takes most of the praises for that, as the Note 3 that I have here is powered by a Qualcomm Snapdragon 800 chip with a quad-core 2.3 GHz processor, Adreno 330 graphics and no less than 3GB of RAM. Really, 3GB. Next there's the screen. The Note 3 packs a large 5.7-inch display with an AMOLED panel and Full HD resolution. It doesn't have the pixel density of the Galaxy S4 and other premium 5-inch smartphones, but because of the bigger diagonal, everything is slightly bigger on it, that's easier to read and follow. And I'm talking about movies, games, websites, magazines and pretty much everything else. The screen impresses with its high contrast, sharpness and vivid colors, although some of you might find it a bit oversaturated. That's more or less a given with these types of panels though. Next on my list is the large removable battery. The Note 3 packs a 3200 mAh battery and that's usually enough to power the phone for 2 days of average use, which is better than what you're getting with most smartphones. Still, if you need more, you can easily pop up the back, slide out the battery and replace it with a brand new one. It takes just a couple of seconds. There's one element you're only going to find on a Galaxy Note, and not on any other smartphone, the S Pen. You can use it for drawing, sketching, taking notes or just control everything on the screen without actually touching it with your fingers. On the Note 3, the S Pen has got new functions, gestures and features, like the Air Command Suite with the Action Memo, Scrapbooker or Screenwriter, plus a few others. You might enjoy using many of those, you'll just have to give them a try first. Anyway, the new Note is one of the few phones to pack an USB 3.0 port. That means there's a larger connector on the lower edge of the device, but it allows for faster transfer speeds and shorter charging times. Of course, if you don't always have an USB 3.0 cable around, the Note 3 is still backwards compatible with all the USB 2.0 cables, but you'll lose the benefits when using one of those. Besides this, there's really nothing missing on the Note 3 in terms of connectivity options and sensors. This version of the phone supports Lte Speeds and fast Wi-Fi 802.11 AC wireless standard, offers Bluetooth, GPS and NFC. There's also an IR blaster, so you can use the device as a remote. The USB port has OTG and MHL capabilities, but in terms of sensors, the list is even longer as you can see here. There's not much to tell about the camera on the Note 3, and it's in many ways similar to the one on the Galaxy S4. But the Snapdragon 800 powered version, the one we have here, does offer a couple of new video shooting modes, including the ability to take 4K recordings or slow motion 720p clips at 130 frames per second, and the results are quite good. Next on our list is the weight. Yes, the Note 3 is a large phone, but it tips the scales at about 170 grams, which is actually an achievement. Yes, it's still heavy when compared to many other phones, but it is lighter than last year's Note 2 and definitely lighter than most other phablets. Oh, and since the Note 3 is fairly big, it's almost impossible for the average person to cover its screen with a thumb and not use both hands to access its various commands. And here's where the one-handed operation mode kicks in. Once activated, you just have to swipe to the left and then quickly back to the right on the screen to get a smaller interface. That if you're a righty. If you're a lefty, it's the other way around. The shrinked interface can be resized and packs all the important Android buttons on the bottom, so you won't have to stretch your finger even to hit the physical controls. Pretty neat, and on top of that, Samsung also offers one-handed versions of the keyboard and dialer. Alright, I've mentioned 9 important features of the Note 3, but I couldn't exactly decide which of the things left would get this last 10th spot, although my money are probably on the excellent audio output, especially if you're pairing the phone with a proper set of headphones and ditch the ones included in the pack. Anyway, I'd like to know what would you guys pick for this final position. Is there a cool feature of the Note that needs to be included in this post and I've left out? Is there anything else that really sets the new Note apart from its competitors? Please give me a hand and leave your replies below. And if I get enough suggestions, I'll make a follow-up for this video and give you credit for your findings. So go ahead, post your comments below. Okay, with that in mind, it's time to wrap this up. Thanks for watching, make sure to hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video and also check out the extended coverage of the Note 3 on my channel. Oh, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already so you won't miss any of my next updates. Catch you soon.